Winter?
I didn't do the fall. I didn't do cross country, if that's what you're asking.
Yes. You used to do indoor and...
Right.
Why didn't you do cross country?
That was a spring.
Oh, that's a good reason.
The Crash Course Live is presented by Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, host of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel, and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
At least I'm trying to be your host. I am trying for all we are worth. Steve, did you come through?
I'm here.
Okay, perfect. Well, so far we haven't locked up yet. 3 times the charm, I guess, huh?
Chris, how's it going, bud?
Oh my God! Up until right now, it's been a pretty okay day. Pretty okay. And oh man, took a dive on its nose right there. My goodness, took a couple tries.
I mean, it's happened before, and like always, Chris Marquardt fixes it.
For those of you hoping to watch an MP3 of this, pull up YouTube and plug in your headset, because we're gonna update all the links and everything once we get settled a little bit and get rolling. If you hear me typing in the background, it's because I'm fixing everything. We tried to get up and going as fast as we could. Episode 264 on deck. Good evening and welcome to everybody who is tuning in at home. I'm not sure what link you're watching, but we should be out there. If nothing
Just
else.
keep looking, you'll find us.
Right, keep nosing around. This should be a fun show. We're going to be getting back together with Steve Bucknam to talk a little bit about teaming up with DerbyNation and Derby Tees to host and cover the 2019 Capital City Carnage event. There was an awesome post out there. It was a nice surprise, honestly. I didn't know that post was coming, so it was cool to see that. And Steve is going to be very busy in the weeks leading up to that. He's going to be in Hot Springs and then traveling on the roads from Hot Springs directly to Topeka. So it's going to be a while before he sees his own bed. And we're going to be talking with Daryl Ewing at the bottom of the show a little bit about what it's like to run at Topeka, which is always an interesting perspective to get. But on top of that, also talking with him a little bit about Johnson Wrecking Crew and how it's become a little bit of a home track. They usually do really well out there.
Yeah, they handle themselves pretty good.
So we're going to get into that a little bit with him, and hopefully he will talk to us again, and we don't jinx them with that topic. But nonetheless, we're only about 20 minutes late. Better late than never, I suppose.
All good.
Steve Bucknam is joining us online. Steve, man, how are you?
I'm great, guys.
That's awesome. Good to hear. Steve was working on some chili, hopefully during the intermission. He was able to at least get some dinner. Did you know that post was coming out from DerbyNation?
I did not. Yeah, it hit me with a surprise as well. I knew that they were going to announce, our commentatorship, but I just didn't know when it was coming or how it was going to look.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised too. All of a sudden, there was I saw that I'd been tagged in something, and with some of my friends, I get a little nervous about what tags, but then I saw that, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Chris and I are very excited to be coming back to Topeka. Looking forward. It's kind of become like a mecca of Derby a couple times a year. It gets really big out there, so really looking forward to coming back. We worked with Steve at Bash for Cash last year. Had a really good time. Worked really well together. So be fun getting back into that groove again. So we're looking forward to it.
Yes, Bash for Cash was a ton of fun. Steve was a regular part of Crash Course back in some of the formative years, and we frequently Skyped in and stuff. So it was nice to. I think it was during one of the breaks, Steve kind of elbowed me and said it was kind of fun to get the band back together again. And sure enough, we're fortunate to be able to do it again here at Bash for Cash. Steve got to work at Blizzard Bash back in November. And what was it like being in that booth trying to keep track of all that action inside a hockey arena? I don't think if I remember right, you haven't done a derby in a hockey arena before.
The closest I've come has been something like Sturgis, where you guys have been as well. So, it's a whole different ballgame being in Topeka. But they helped us out some with DerbyNation this year. They put a TV monitor in the booth, so we're not just watching the live action, we're watching the TV as well, so we can see a little bit better like what the fans are seeing, and we can give a little bit more intelligent commentary on what's on the screen. So that has been a big help for sure.
That's it's because Topeka is so busy.
Yeah,
it's hard to train yourself to put all of the stuff going on around you out and just focus on the monitor, so that what you're talking about is matching what is happening for the viewers at home. Because the last thing you want to do is say, "Oh my gosh, look at that impact over there," and the screen's showing a car smoking. Because now not only you're not talking about what you're looking at, the people at home start to get their pitchforks and torches out, saying you're not covering what we want to see.
Yeah, it's tough. We the last couple of years we did it out there. They had the TVs, and it's definitely hard to get used to. We started out sitting and watching, in front of just watching the action on the track, and over the years we've had some real good camera operators that we kind of work things out well. But it's kind of neat to have the monitors there in front of you. You can see what's going on and see what's going on over the air. So it's it's just another cog in the wheel to take Derby to the next level. Oh, did you blow it up again, Chris?
Yeah, I think DerbyNation does a really great job of bringing everybody together and bringing the action into everyone's living rooms. And it's a great platform to present such a thing. As the shows at Topeka, Capital City Carnage, and Blizzard Bash. It's awesome to see how far the sport has come in a few short years.
I mean, I was thinking about it when the post had come out and got a little bit nostalgic and started thinking, this all started with a static camera on a boom way, way up above the track when Mark and Derby T started getting into some of that live streaming stuff. And it was really cool that it was there, but there was no commentary, there was no lineups. You really didn't know what was going on or what was happening with the action that was on track. It was just sort of the Derby cars going on in the background, and then it mushroomed into, well, let's go backwards to go forwards. That goes backwards to all the DVD stuff. Well, the DVD market got affected by
pay-per-view,
the live stream and the pay-per-view stuff, and then all the folks started getting Facebook Live, which forced the pay-per-view element to evolve and advance, which brought to a point where now there's commentary and there's multiple angles and there's overlays and there's all these instant replays and stuff like that, and then you see all that at home, and then you go out to Topeka and to see how many moving parts go into making that work. It's just it blows your mind. And I'm a little bit techie here and there in my spare time, and I get so jealous of all those racks of machines and stuff. It's really, really cool, as Steve said, to see where it's come from and where it's going. And I don't think yet that we've hit the peak of it.
No, I definitely don't think so. I know the last time we were out there for Blizzard Bash, we were talking with Grainer. And we talked about getting a camera up above, like almost from a ceiling shot. Sure enough, they braved the elements and went up there on one of those catwalks and put a camera, so you could just kind of a look down camera, and that was pretty neat. We saw the evolution of that, so it's really awesome, and the people that are running the cameras, they're getting better and better with each show. Started out and they weren't, most of them weren't Derby people. They weren't sure what to watch and how to look for things. And I know Chris worked with them a lot. Kind of giving them tips and pointers. Hey, try doing this and pull back a little bit here. And it really evolved. I've watched a couple of the presentations on TV with some friends, and it's pretty neat to see where it is. And I've said it a million times. It's an honor to be a part of it. Really looking forward to get back out there. I was kind of biding time and thinking next week was the week to go, but we actually got 2 weeks, so it's going to be fun. Looking forward to it.
I need 2 weeks. How about you, Steve? I mean, is the anticipation level starting to get up? You're going to be busy with derbies. You've already been busy with derbies this year, and now you're going to be creeping up on a few more before we get to Capital City Carnage. We're not going to be able to get up and running on our feet until we get out there to Topeka. Is there an excitement level building to that?
Absolutely. You can't go to a venue like Topeka and not feel those butterflies. You guys understand being around derbies. The drivers feel these butterflies and the excitement leading up to the derby, and that excitement is there for me doing this as well. We have, as commentators, the three of us have a big responsibility to present these guys in a great light, and let them be the shining stars. And I don't want to let them down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a lot of pressure.
I had a really nice talk with Eric Muley after Blizzard Bash, and he said some really nice things to me, and I really appreciated it. And it's cool to know that people appreciate what we do and how I do it and stuff. So looking forward to get back out there. The on track action is always second to none. I think the Limited Weld's nearing 70 cars, I believe, which is normally about average. Everything else is full, I believe. I was looking at the lineups today, so it's the on track action is going to be insane. I think there's 22 cars for the mod class, which those guys they'll be making runways quick and tearing stuff up. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show. It's next to impossible to pick a favorite out of any class. There's so many talented drivers and builders in each class. So all the big prize money is really up in the air.
Would you rather go see somebody?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I want your thoughts on that, but I had another question for you about, would you rather see somebody go out there and wail away on the Mad Dog and set the tone all weekend, or have a couple different guys just battling it out and start seeing some of the chess match play out and get to watch the driving?
I do love a good chess match, but I love when somebody goes out and flips the switch and sort of changes up the pace of the entire event. We saw that a few times at Blizzard Bash where people came out and changed the pace. Basically, they made the show change the tempo, and I think it makes it more exciting for the fans. Not just the fans in house, but the fans that are watching at home. It can't be a 3-hour-long chess match. As exciting as that can be for people that are students of the game, it needs to have some exciting, fast-paced action as well. So I look forward to that.
That's one of the things we always look forward to. You're about to say, in terms of some of the points that Brian was making before.
Yes, I agree that it's pretty hard to pick, favorites out of some of these classes, but I can't overlook the fact that Kevin Woolman is on the compact driver list. How do you not vote for a guy like that?
Yeah, he does okay out there. But Tony Brollinger's also on there. I saw him. Just quick, I was looking at names today. So that's going to be a well contested heat right there.
It's going to be last year's compact feature.
Yeah, basically that's what it is.
Let me rephrase it. It's going to be the Blizzard Bash compact feature all over again. They're not supposed to be running as teams, but let's face it,
they're going to. Absolutely. Watching
him drive is just as much fun as watching some of the full size guys, and that's the one big difference of the show is obviously the build style, the limited weld, and we talked about it with all the drivers. We'll get into this with Daryl as well, talking with him about this idea here is there's not as much margin for error with the limited welded cars. Somebody decides they want to go out and run for the Mad Dog, they need to be exceptionally smart about it. Otherwise, they're not going to have anything left. They're going to go out early. We've seen Jonathan Muse. He had a lot of work to do after that wagon got tore up, and he was goal-oriented in the feature. Teddy Papadopoulos, goal-oriented in the feature. He knew what he was out there to do, and he was going to take as many people out with him as long as he kept moving, and he still got deep.
Yeah, he did.
Because he ran smart. The Blizzard Bash cars, like the modified cars that you were talking about, they're going to be out there. 22 of them is going to be a good show. But you can not be as crisp as you need to be with the mod cars at this show, because they're so hard. Yeah, the stakes aren't quite as high. If something's kinked and tweaked, you can sort of work around it, but you don't have that luxury in terms of the limited welded cars. And Steve, you've had a chance to go all over the country and you've seen it. What do you think in terms of the comparisons? Kind of along the lines of what we're talking about in terms of that chess match versus somebody going out there and wanting to drive hard. They got to moderate what they got to modulate their thoughts.
Yeah, I think we see that across the board. When you have a harder car, you have a little bit more leeway so that you can be a bit more aggressive with it, especially with the front ends of these things. But these guys know what they have and they know how to use it. So a lot of times you see guys that are, they've got the back of the car set up just for defense, and they're driving aggressively so that someone can't get into them and do damage that they don't want.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is too is, I mean, the limited weld cars out here are still pretty hard. I mean, they're not a soft build by any means of the imagination.
What about the limited weld cars out there?
That's what I mean. Out there. That's what I mean. Where we're going to in Topeka. But I mean that's the thing. I mean with the modifieds. I mean you can point them and it doesn't really matter because something's going to bend, something's going to break, and they're just put together so hard. But with the limited weld, you definitely have to pick and choose a little bit more. I mean more tires, more more stuff like that. But I mean we've also seen guys at this level. The driving ability is so high. I mean, how many times have we seen cars with a steering box dragging along under the track, and guys drive it down to win a heat or get qualified through a heat, or drive it down into the top 3 or something crazy.
I don't think any of the top 3 last year had steering at all.
No. I think Chicken was the last one to have steering, and then something happened. And
didn't he end up third?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the last one was steering at third. It was Trey and Eric Blum.
Yeah, he lost it, and then. But I mean, that's the thing is, it's at this level. I mean, these guys are just so good. They can overcome so many issues. Trey Hewer, he had was it last year or the year before when the front tire was kind of laid over? It didn't go all the way down, but it was low. Was that last year?
I think that was last year when it laid in at the top, right? And it was dragging behind the firewall.
He drove right down deep. I mean, it's just amazing to see what these guys can do. Obviously the driving talent is second to none. I'm just really looking forward to getting out there and watching. The 2-man extreme, that's really become that has picked up the. It seems though they're usually start out a pace kind of like the Blizzard Bass pace, and they are just on the gas and making jumps. So looking forward to all of it. I mean things are done a little different in Topeka, and it's usually done harder out there. So looking forward to get out there and be a part of it.
If you had the chance to pick one of the classes out there, Steve, what would you be driving in?
What would I drive in first?
Yeah.
I mean, just because I haven't done it at this level, I would want to run in the modified class.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a bucket list item for me. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. So
I like all my squishy parts where they are on the inside. I'm gonna leave them there.
It would be fun.
It's a Destin for Rascal scooter list.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong there.
Oh
man.
It's not a class that I think I would be very competitive in, but I think it would be a lot of fun for the short amount of time that I lasted.
What are some of your thoughts on this 2-man extreme class as it's grown traction more and more? We're seeing several places where that 2-man extreme class has taken a foothold, and it's been giving people just cause to use the quote-unquote throwaway cars.
Yeah. I'm seeing it in lots of different places. Different promoters call it different things. I've seen it called a duo driver heat or a buddy heat, the 2-man extreme. And in the places that I've seen it, it's been the show. These guys are excited. They're sort of not as invested in the car, and they're just going out and getting back to some of the roots of demolition derby and having fun with doing what they're doing. So it's really exciting to watch.
Have you seen the twist that Brett Relier has put on the 2-man extreme at his coups this year?
No.
The passenger will be facing backwards and running the brakes. I think it's the brakes and the gas.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he asked me about that, and I said it sounds insane. But they're gonna give a shot.
I guess so. I guess you gotta keep it fresh, right?
I said, Brett, what about he's not gonna see anything coming. He said, well, it's no different than facing forward, not being able to see anything coming when you're backing up. He said, when you're going forward, you won't be able to see it. When you're backing up, you'll be able to see it. So I don't know. It's something different. It's gonna be interesting to see.
Center mount the seats like a modified and just put the 2 seats back to back.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be cool.
I don't think it would be that cool. Can you imagine sitting on top of that transmission tunnel? I don't think it's a good idea.
No, probably not. It'd give you a reason to plate it though. Because derby drivers are always looking to plate something.
Say again. Say that again, Steve.
Fuel cell.
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, you get to at least you can put a cup holder on the fuel cell. I guess it makes some good use out of it.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Your tank protector.
No.
Your leg protector.
No, stop. Just stop. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea at all. But I'm surprised that you said the mod class. Honestly, Steve, I figured that you would go the way of that limited weld. That's heavier than what you're used to from where you grew up, but it still puts that emphasis on the driver.
I've run some stuff like that in the past, and it's a lot of fun, and I think I could be somewhat competitive in that class, but I'm at the point now where I just got to check off items off the bucket list.
Right. Are you going to get a chance to do much driving this year?
I don't know what's in my schedule for this year. I do hope to run at least one time this year. Our good buddy Ronnie McClung has been really good about getting some cars together for me, as rentals, So I'm hoping to maybe take him up on that again this year, maybe run another show in Canada. He and I had some fun in Canada last year, and took first and second at a small show, so it'd be fun to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, Bad Ronnie only runs like 40 shows a year. I'm sure there's probably somewhere he could find an extra car and bring it for you to run.
His door wraps for Vegas just came in today.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I don't know how he's going to take the drive from where he is in Canada to Vegas.
You measure that in calendar squares.
Yeah.
Not
he should probably leave like now.
He's going to drive to Vancouver, pick up 797s, drive to Vegas, sell a bunch of them, keep the motors out of them, and then drag them all back to Ontario.
That's crazy.
I don't know if that's true, but it's a safe assumption.
I wonder if he will go across Canada and down.
I would think that would make the most sense.
Yeah,
either that or he would come across and pick up like in Wisconsin and drive deep south to Chicago and then go west.
Yeah. Be cool.
It's crazy. I mean, if you think about that, it's insane.
Yeah.
The miles he puts on his vehicles just to go to derbies.
Yeah. Yeah, his truck's got to be nearing 200,000.
His truck's got to be new. Steve, did you ever?
I'll lead to that for sure.
Did you ever put those kind of miles on a vehicle?
Yeah, I mean, in the last couple of years, I've been putting a lot more miles on for sure. My current truck, I've got 20,000 miles on it in the last 3.5 months.
Yep.
That's a lot of traveling.
Those are Bad Ronnie numbers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of miles under the belt right now.
I like just driving to Rochester and getting on a plane. A lot less stress, a lot less,
For you. Your stress level when we get on a plane is much different than my stress level when we get on a plane.
I don't know. Our stress levels are usually pretty even. We've usually been hanging out together and things are pretty chill when we get on planes.
When we get on the plane to come back to Rochester, I would agree. But going places, if we've got all that stuff stuffed in bags in the belly of a plane, so you go, how do you explain it when People's Exhibit A, Winter Slam 2013.
I explained it that they dropped your bags 36,000 feet out of our airplane.
But they didn't know it was even there. They had no record of it ever being shipped through UPS.
Yeah. Strange how that happened.
I know. It's fine. Pay no attention. Where we talked about you're going to be at Hot Springs Havoc the week before Blizzard Bash. Where else are you going to be between then and now? Are you going to be at the office?
No, I'm going to just I'm doing some stuff here at home, getting things ready, but I fly out on the 13th, so next week, and I'll fly out to Little Rock and then do some stuff in between, like travel with Derby Tees and help them get set up for their show at Bluegrass Bash, and then come back and get ready for Urban Destruction happening in April.
Jeez.
Is there a show the same weekend as Capital City Carnage? Another big show?
I don't think so. Bluegrass is the week after, right?
In Vegas is the week after.
It's not.
Bluegrass is the same weekend.
Oh, it is the same weekend.
Wow.
That's a challenge.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
No kidding. I didn't realize that.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting. The Vegas show's the week after.
Yeah.
I was thinking the Vegas show and Bluegrass are on top of each other. But, I mean, it is.
Back. It is what it is.
Yep.
Cars are going to get wrecked.
As a matter.
Kicking into high gear for our broadcast season. You know, it's starting to turn into a pay-per-view season for everybody. You got shows like at least 2 times a month, you know, and getting to be even more than that as the spring progresses.
Yeah, you're gonna do Urban Destruction, and then shortly after that, May Mania will be on the calendar for Slingshot. Those guys out in Utah, they'll have their streams will be up and going for May Mania, and then a couple weeks after that is Bash for Cash.
Steve, are you guys, or is Derby Tees doing Metal Mayhem this year?
Yes. Yeah, we're doing Spring Explosion and Metal Mayhem with Jack Fissler with Derby Icon.
Yep.
Going to be some really good shows with him. We've also got River City Rampage with Toads Promotions. That's coming up the beginning part of May out of Henry, Illinois.
Right.
Cool.
So make sure people are checking out DerbyNation.tv, checking out the full schedule. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's almost as regular as UFC.
Go ahead.
All joking aside, it's in terms of the
now
pay-per-view stuff.
If we could just get the groundswell that UFC has, it'd be awesome.
I know, right? We just need one good Conor McGregor.
Yeah. or even what's his name to play the heel.
UFC has hundreds of fighters on the roster
from WWE. Their title holder.
Brock Lesnar.
There you go. We need a good heel.
I had no idea where you were going with that. I understand now. Yeah, I got you. I
dropped the ball, man.
I understood.
Pitched it.
I'm up to speed now. Yep. Now that we've limped that across the line, I'm able to squeeze in another WWE reference. Perfect. It's always good. God rest the soul of King Kong Bundy.
Harley Race also has uncurable lung cancer.
And I just saw that Alex Trebek has stage 4
pancreatic cancer.
Yeah, all the heroes, they're all just going.
I'm kind of a bad leeway.
Yes. Wherever you're going with this is probably a bad segue.
Butch I believe it's Helfrich.
Yeah.
Compact driver. He had been fighting lung cancer for a long time. He passed away 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Oh, my.
And I've been meaning to say something on air. I believe he had won a compact show at Metal Mayhem after his diagnosis of cancer.
Really?
Yeah, in a Cancer Sucks car. But I've been wanting to mention it. He fought that nasty disease hard for a long time. He was a true derby dude. But yeah, I had wanted to say something and forgot about it. But that made me think of it. So thoughts to Butch's family. Like I said, he was a pretty big derby dude. So,
well, I think I missed that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, I'd seen it, and because he was always on, and then I think he had a house fire, and then shortly thereafter that he ended up succumbing to the cancer. So.
Jeepers. That's horrible.
Yeah. So. Just wanted to get out there. Condolences to him and his family. Sorry it's late. No real excuse. We should have got to it sooner. So
for sure.
Sorry about that, and condolences to you guys. And Derby lost a good dude.
Do you have any other independent announcing dates planned, or are you going to be focused almost exclusively on the DerbyNation stuff?
A lot of focus on DerbyNation stuff,
cool.
But I do have kind of a nostalgic gig for myself.
Nice.
I'm back on board with the Keystone Nationals this year in Pennsylvania.
Right.
Doing some announcing there. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
excited to be back in Brookville, working with Bo Lockwood Promotions.
Right.
Cool.
That's got some momentum with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Keystone Nationals, man, people loved the show when it was up and running before. People seem to be really happy that it's coming back, and I'm excited to see what this year brings.
You think Pete Hansen's going to win it?
I don't think so this year. I think he's got too much of a target on his back if he chooses to run.
Right. He's got to opt to run, and I just hope that if he does choose to go run Bash for Cash, and I haven't asked him one way or the other, but if he does go, I hope he gets some good luck. Not anything other than just get some good luck. I mean, we watched him drive for 45 minutes with no steering and take out the last 2 cars running were both Quenslers at the Keystone Nationals, and he won. And unfortunately, pretty much all the dates before that, he had no luck. And then he turned around and he had a pretty good summer after that. But still, man, he's just for some reason snake bitten when it comes to Bash for Cash, and he's due for some good fortunes there.
Yeah, he's had a couple nasty cars at Bash for Cash and just had some bad luck. So I know him and Brett are going to run the show in Kentucky. Same weekend as Topeka, so that'll be interesting. See how they do out there. That's a heat I would love to watch. There's the heat that they're in. There's a lot of great drivers. So
I'm looking forward to getting to Topeka.
Yeah,
it's starting to get itchy now.
Yeah, it's miss it, man.
Absolutely. What else have you got planned for this year? Anything surprising in terms of I don't know, like Las Vegas?
No, not doing that. No, it's too far for me to travel. Although I do have some friends and family that live out there. It's got too much other stuff going on. I actually I'm taking a little bit of time off this summer to just actually have some time to go camping,
right,
and spend some time with some friends. Summer times have been always super busy for us, as you know. We do a lot of traveling for derbies, and I'm just decided that this year I'm going to take a little bit of time for myself and have some sort of work-life balance,
Sure. I was hoping that after Steve had alluded to Ron McClung, that perhaps there was 2 cars going out of Ron's shop out to Vegas, and we're going to see Steve in the casino battle royale. But oh well, maybe next year, right?
Yeah, I'll put it on the list.
Did you know that?
I know Ronnie's got a spare trailer, so I can haul from his place and bring one out there.
Right. Las Vegas in Nevada is one of the 3 states that Steve or Steve's family hasn't derbied in. There's Nevada, Wyoming, and I think it was you said it was Tennessee, right? They've already got Hawaii checked off, Puerto Rico, Alaska, all this.
Oh, Chris.
Has anybody gone out there? In all honesty, like, what's the farthest west that your crew's gone? I mean, your family's been all over the place.
Detroit.
My dad qualified for California for one of the TNN shows, but we did not end up going out there.
No.
So we went to the Pontiac, Michigan show. We ran in Wichita, Kansas at the TNN shows up there. I ran in Washington State and Everett, Washington, Monroe, Washington, Evergreen Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been all the way out to the West Coast.
That's cool.
And my cousin Chuck was just down in Florida for the Southern Nationals down there, and you got the Mad Dog down there.
Chuck got, I think he got 7th or 8th in one of the last versions of the Keystone Nationals too. Remember how short that he had that red? I think it was a Buick. And that nose was pushed back a long ways, and the back was shoved right up to the window, but it was still going. I mean, you could barely even recognize it, but it was still.
That was a good show.
That was a good time.
That's one.
I think we'll see him at the Keystone Nationals again this year.
Awesome.
That was one Steve won.
Was it?
Yeah, I believe Steve won it.
Could be.
It was the year Steve and Mark won everything down there.
Well, that's more than 1 year that's happened.
Yeah, it was one of the last years they ran.
Very true.
They won everything.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, is there anything that we missed at this point? Anything else we want to hit on?
Oh, goodness. Excuse me.
I just got to do the usual plug and make sure everybody joins us on DerbyNation.tv. Check out the full schedule. There's lots of cool stuff on there. And we'll see you guys in Topeka.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll catch up with you down there. We're getting in on Thursday, so we'll plan on seeing you Thursday for heat draws.
Sounds great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You bet, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys.
Thanks. There goes Steve Bucknam. We'll be catching up with him here in a little bit. He is such a trooper.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging in there through the mess that we had started the show with. Tried to get back a little bit on schedule for Darrell Ewing. We've got him coming on here momentarily. I've got to get... Let's just do this.
Probably got to pay some bills.
Yeah.
Goes up.
Yeah, I probably should. We'll just do it this way. And while we're talking, we'll try redialing that phone number since it was not accurate. The Capital City Carnage is coming up on the 21st through the 23rd, 2019 at the Kansas Expo Center in Topeka, Kansas. Friday is the opening round of heats. Thursday night is the heat draw, 7 o'clock start for that heat draw event. Friday is the Limited Weld qualifying heats. Looks like we're going to have about somewhere around 7-8 of those is the game plan right now. 7 o'clock start time there on the 22nd of March. Saturday is the twin bill, 10 o'clock start time for the Limited Weld Constellations, the compacts, and that first group of the extreme 2-man class. That again starts at 10 o'clock. At 7 o'clock is the 10,000 to win Limited Weld feature with the modifieds and the second group of the 2-man extreme class. Online you can find more details, capitalcitycarnage.com. Again, the dates March 21st through the 23rd. Capital City Carnage presented by Smash It Demolition Derbies. Looking forward to getting
about 20 hours of derbying.
Yeah, it's a light trip. It's a light trip. It's the diet version of Blizzard Bash, right?
Blizzard Bash for about 45 hours.
We calculated it. We kept track of it one year.
Yeah, we were over 40 hours. We were like 46, I think it was.
43, 46 that we were on the air total for.
Yeah.
It was a while.
And then as I said before, we leave Monday morning. We leave, but we don't talk to each other until about until we get to about Chicago.
Hey, Daryl, can I put you in?
Everybody's tired.
Yeah. It is not unusual for us to say nothing to one another until we say goodbye in the airport. Like, see you sometime.
That's a busy weekend right there.
It is. It's very full. Daryl Ewing joining us on the phone. Daryl, man, I appreciate you hanging on as well for us, and as we fought through some of those struggles early on, but looks like everything's back on our feet, and it's looking good. Getting ready for a run out there at Capital City Carnage. You looking forward to it or what?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing a bunch of friends that I haven't seen in a while, but that's probably about it.
Yeah. The optimism ends there, huh?
Well, honestly, I just built this car because I was sitting in the house. It's nothing special. I'm taking a rusty car that I'm just going to go have fun with.
Is that like the $5,000 Mad Dog kind of have fun with?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, everybody's going out there with the option of, you could do the Mad Dog, but everybody wants to kind of be there in the feature too, So
sure.
It all depends on the situation.
What does rusty mean in the lexicon of the Johnson Wrecking Crew, rusty?
Well, we're in the Rust Belt. There isn't a clean car up here unless we travel for 4 or 5 hours. So, I mean, there's no rockers in it. I've got to do some floor patching and stuff like that. I mean, it's literally nothing special. I just was sick of sitting in the house.
You guys have had some good luck since you decided to start coming out there to Topeka. Some great runs, and that's not to say that the previous runs that you've had other places were anything to scoff at. You were a strong team and highly scouted coming in, winning in the qualifying bracket, earning your spot in the national side of things. Both of the other trips that you've made out there with Capital City Carnage bringing the team have been positive. Does it come to be almost like a home track? I mean, is there a drive to make sure that you perform well because you've done so well so far?
Excuse me.
I wouldn't consider it a home track by any means. I mean, honestly, we run enough shows around here that we like hitting our spots, and Topeka is definitely one of them. I mean, you get to hang out with people that you see once or twice a year, and that's honestly what I appreciate out there is that. I don't know. It's honestly another derby for us, and it is what it is, I guess. Right.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. It's something special, and again, it's right up there. It's got the pageantry and the fanfare that Blizzard Bash has. The difference is you're running by yourself on paper.
Yeah, that's very
correct. We're definitely running singles. I mean, honestly, we could all draw different heats, and we might not even see each other until the feature, if we even make the feature, because I'm thoroughly planning on not making the feature. I'll be in the stands, the drunk guy just watching my friends do good.
That sounds like a hell of a plan right there. I mean, you go out and just junk a car, have fun, and then drink some beer in the stands. I mean, I think that's a great idea. Chris, can I
Well,
drink some
like
beer in
I
the
said,
stands?
I
Is that
am
okay?
literally not planning on doing anything special here. I have the frame done so far. I'm looking at it right now. The body isn't done. I haven't touched a thing on the body yet. Like, it's a throw together build. But honestly, that's kind of what I do too. I don't spend months and months on a car. I deal better under pressure, I guess, and wait till the last minute and then just stress myself out and don't sleep until I get the car done.
Yep.
I want to go back to
Derby guy.
What if we just did the heats? Well, we didn't qualify. We didn't make it.
We're gonna be hanging out the stands.
We're gonna go find Daryl.
There you go.
Hey, you find enough Busch lattes, you can drive my car.
Oh, really? Wait a second.
Well, that'd be interesting. I think I can survive a Limited Weld heat. The mod cars, no way, but I think I can survive a Limited Weld heat.
How many lattes we talking?
Well, enough to fill out my gooseneck trailer.
Ooh, I ain't got that many.
Yeah, it's well, it was a fun negotiation while it lasted.
Yeah, I guess I'll just sit inside the booth and talk about it. That's cool.
Well, I tell you what, you talk to Clarkson to letting you drive or ride with me, and we'll find a way to put another seat in it.
Dude, there is no way in God's green earth I'm riding passenger with anybody in a demolition derby car. Ain't happening.
Wow,
no
why
way.
not?
Nope. I'm not about passenger.
I mean, you're not gonna get the whiplash for me hitting anyone hard, that's for sure. But I mean, I might get hit hard in the opposite fashion. So
that's all well and fine. There's no way I would trust. No. I just if I can't be in control, I think I'd lose my mind sitting there.
I am the exact same way. I will never jump out of a perfectly good airplane, so I'm never gonna do any skydiving, and I cannot ride on a roller coaster because I have to have some form of control.
Mm-hmm. But roller coasters aren't as bad, but I honestly couldn't imagine being in a derby car where somebody else at the controls. That's
Zach and I actually talked about that, doing a team show, where one person has the steering wheel and the other person has the brake and the gas and all that happy jazz, but never quite happened. But someday I would do that. I mean, but the cage is going to have to be pretty substantial.
yeah, that's definite. I've seen, I've watched a lot of the passenger heats, and I don't. I've seen the scars on Chris's legs for
worst
passenger
heat ever.
Yeah.
I mean, both the last couple of years, I mean, drawing IFD and then Calistoda. I mean, you look at them in their half-hour heats, and everybody else is getting by with, their 8 and 9-minute heats, and I'm like, man, I really wish I could get one of those. Even if we were on the losing end, that's still 20 minutes less of damage to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're onto something there. Timing is everything. And Blizzard Bash is such a different atmosphere anyway because of the car you're able to build. And I can't imagine that you're throwing that together on a short time clock quite the way with this car.
Oh, absolutely, I did. My Blizzard Bash car was about a month start to finish, and there was a lot of helping my buddy Corey Bonnell out. Him and I actually moved up towards Zach Johnson because I got a new job up here, and Corey Bonnell is one of the best guys you can have around to help build, and we just kind of thrashed through it because we had to build his car too. So, I literally don't spend a whole lot of time on the build. It's if you do quality in the areas that count, it's honestly my type of driving style. I'm not one to go out there and just go wide open from the beginning. You kind of play it out. That I used to do the wide open from the beginning, and honestly, it was a lot more fun. But you get enough dollars in these cars, and you kind of just want to take it easy and take the right shots. But we'll see how it goes.
Bobby Brockway's a lot of the same way, building and driving style. I mean, Bobby's.
Oh, absolutely. I respect Bobby 100%. He's kind of the same deal. He'll wait, and probably not till the last minute like I do to build a car, but I mean, he's an excellent driver for sure.
Yeah. I've learned a lot from talking with him and stuff. With cars there, but I mean, it's the
main thing is if you can get through heat.
Yeah.
And not be absolutely junk. If you can get it to bend in the right spots, you can fix. But if it bends in the wrong spots, there's no fixing it. I mean, the horns lay over, and
it's.
I would rather build a soft car that you know what it's going to do.
Yeah. That's. I've heard that from a lot. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, those hard cars. If you, it's just times. There's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes you'll hit somebody, at an angle, and it won't do anything to your car, and sometimes it'll shorten a frame rail a foot. I mean, it's weird.
Absolutely.
It's weird. I've walked through the pits many times with guys with huge porta powers and huge electric over hydraulic, jacks trying to straighten out frames, and I'm going, I can't imagine the amount of force that went into bending this stuff. And I mean, it's within the rules where the frame has been plated and it's still accordioned, and you're just like, you would never think that would happen. But it
That's
does.
all your body taking it, and I'm starting to get pretty old for this sport, so I can't be doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So how's that? What are the comparisons then going from Blizzard Bash to the Limited Weld car? You're throwing it together just as fast. You know you're not going to have something that's incredibly hard or built to the same quality in the right places to steal your terms. So you've got to be more cognizant of what you're hitting, how you're hitting, and things like that. How does your mindset change when you go into a heat with a Limited Weld card versus a Blizzard Bash or Mod Class car?
I mean, it's going to be a lot more going backwards, and like I said, I'm not getting any younger. I don't like turning around. I like driving forward, to be honest with you. But it could be a 5-minute heat and I'm done. I mean, if somebody messes up my car, I'm going to send it all the way. There's not going to be any stopping it.
I like that theory.
You go out there with a mentality. You take the shots you want. You offer your car in a way to someone else that it might damage it, but can you live with that damage? Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of people that use the shields on the sides. They
absolutely.
They are willing to take a door shot where a bumper's hitting right on that door bar, and the car pulling away is going to take a whole lot more negative damage than the sheet metal and the skins that are on the sides of your car. It's just not going to affect anything.
Absolutely. I can drive with a car that looks like an S, but the front horns are straight.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, that's one thing. I mean, guys, they don't mind getting hit in the passenger door at 40. I mean, that's the guy that's doing the hitting is getting all the damage there. So, it's Capital City Carnage. I mean, you really you touched on it earlier, Chris. It's definitely more of a driver's game. I mean,
absolutely. Yep. I mean, it's unbelievable how much that a piece of tin on your firewall that you have to cut out affects your car. Because really, the only differences, in my opinion, are you're going to have your firewall cut out, and you're going to be missing about 2 inches of plate on your front horns, and so be it. Jim Falls has pretty much the same rules.
Right.
That's a team show that we did last year with Zach did it with Troy and Jason Brodzinski, and then Chris and I teamed up with Nate Steele. And you kind of have to engineer your car softer behind the A-arms, in my opinion. If you engineer it that way so it can bend and still steer, that's the main thing.
Yeah. Excuse me.
But everyone has their own opinion, so
yep.
I might be talking out of my third point of contact.
It's neat to watch how certain guys' cars bend. I mean, you kind of think that they're all built alike until you see them. How they act on the track. Certain guys' cars.
Absolutely.
Certain guys' cars.
I'm running a 98 02. This is the last car that I had in stash, and I'm just going to let her chooch. But I tried to find a rear half because you can stub a car just so I could get rid of the Watts link. I couldn't find one, and of course now that it's half built, I can find the rear ends or the rear frame sections all over the place. But that's my main weakness. I'll tell you right now. I've got a Watts link in this car. How is it going to hold up? I don't know, because I have literally never ran a Watts link.
Yep.
Ever.
Interesting. So I mean, is that anything that's really ground for concern though?
Well, I mean, I did the modifications to it that I feel are going to hold up, but
Right.
It's kind of like Spring Explosion. I tried a different style car than I've ever ran in my life. I tried an old Lincoln, and I will never go back there. This could work, or it could be absolute garbage. I'll give Borg and Christensen a thumbs up. He can make those cars work. I can't.
Right. He's worked some magic in those cars.
Yeah, he does all right.
Oh, absolutely. He's kind of old Ford God.
Yeah, he does all right with them.
What motor combination are you going to put in it?
I build and sell my own engines.
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy. It's just a 355. It's ran good. It's actually, this engine I bought when I was 15 years old. This is the original small block that I've ever owned. Same engine that I ran at Blizzard Bash. Corey Bennell borrowed me his lightweight T1 ski cradle. So I'm going to actually pull that out tonight and put it in that cradle and let it rip. I have a Punisher transmission that has about 20-25 runs on it. It's never let me down, so that sucker's going in.
Absolutely.
I'm honestly one of the cheap guys on the team. If something's not broke, I'm not fixing it.
Makes sense to me.
You could operate on a budget like that.
I do.
Well, it is what it is. Cause
I do.
I'm not going to operate under any other budget because can't afford it.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm not worried about the drivetrain necessarily. I'm not worried about the car. I'm literally going down to have fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
When was the last time you had a derby you could just go have fun at?
Oh, I don't know. Every one I go to, I try and have as much fun as possible. But Boscoville 2017, I threw together a box Vic, and I was running against Imperials, and I made it down to second place, and my fuel pump that broke off.
Man.
Took me out, and Jared Heaney won. That was an awesome, fun derby. They called me a bagger, but I really didn't care because I had a box of it going against Imperials.
Yeah, no kidding.
You gotta let's not get crazy.
Yeah, every man's got those limitations. Yeah, you sound like you're going to be tracking Imperials with that.
No, absolutely not. I like to try and be there at the end, but you know what? Sometimes it doesn't happen, and that's completely okay with me.
Yep.
Well, I mean, judging by some of the stuff that you've said so far, as much success as JWC has found in Topeka, it doesn't sound like you guys shoulder any particular pressure to maintain it at any predisposed level of success. Obviously, if you're entered in the Derby, you want to win the Derby. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like there's any additional pressure that comes from within to meet or match that previous effort. No?
No, I mean, like, this is a completely different show. It may be at the same venue, but it's a completely different show. And I can tell you this, my other two teammates that are going are definitely going to win. You know, they're not slouching on anything. They are giving 100%, and I'm just the third wheel hanging out. You know, I'm kind of like the awkward friend on the date.
Are they crossing their fingers that you waste your car in the heat so that you can help work on theirs?
Well, maybe, you know. I mean, if I don't make it out of the heat and it's sitting on the trailer, I will be as deep into their cars as I possibly can be.
Right.
But that's what we are. We are a team in the end. And I really do love the team aspect. This year I'm going to try and do a couple of, individual shows just to try and vary things up. But we are definitely focused on Blizzard Bash this year. I mean, we've already talked about the cars we want to take, and probably going to start out on them here shortly after Capital.
Right. Yeah, got to get a good early start on those, huh?
Yeah, we're going to start building for November in March. I like that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, about as fast as we can tear these guys apart, we're probably going to start working on those cars, and well, at least I am. I'm 36 years old, and by the age of 40, I plan on not doing this anymore. So I'd like my last couple of years to be the absolute best I can.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
I mean, you guys are sitting on a great legacy right now, and I think it's arguable. I think it's inarguable that you guys are on the precipice of greatness. It feels like it's only a matter of time before you guys come away with a win in Blizzard Bash in the main draw.
Hey, you stop that stuff.
Okay. All right.
Don't need to be jinxing us. No, I mean, yes, obviously we have a good team. We have a good dynamic. We have two crazy Johnsons that love running wide tight, and we have Chris and myself that tend to be a little bit more relaxed. Mm-hmm. And it's a great dynamic. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to say that we're in contentions to win. I mean, that would be ridiculous to say. We're going to go down and we're going to put out our best effort, and that's at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, as long as you can put in the best effort you can, that's all that matters.
We've seen you guys put in your best efforts before, and it's always paid off well. So hopefully, I wish you the best of luck then. How is that fair? I'm not jinxing you.
That sounds a lot better.
Okay.
And I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a Chris Collins and a Ribby, on your team. So I don't know how he managed to pull it off, but I towards the end, I was like, this guy could pull it off.
Yeah, he does just fine. And like you said, that dynamic that you've got, it's the right pairing. And it's not something that would necessarily work for another group. Another group might need 4 hammers. Another group with the personality type might need one driver to hang back, and another group might need all the drivers to hang back and just wait it out. But the combination that you guys have hit on has been one that's working.
Yeah, I definitely can't ask for a better team, nor will I ever ask for a better team. I mean, that's the 4 guys that are for sure going, and I hope it works out, but might not. Never know.
This show, in addition to some of those solo runs you're talking about over the summer, we've had other people say that they try to run over the summer for multiple reasons. One of them is to try out new build stuff, to break in new motors, to try new combinations with their geometries and things like that. And I think it was Dustin Ingram that said he drives because Demolition Derby is not the same as riding a bike. You don't get on and just go. You got to stay fresh and stay sharp. Make sure your action times are there, your analysis is there, your mental sharpness is there, so you can think fast on your feet under the pressure and duress of a derby. Is there any one of those things that's in the forefront of your mind in terms of putting together a summer schedule?
Oh, absolutely. The Demolition Derby is a perishable skill. Not only driving, but also building. I mean,
right.
You forget one little thing, and that can change your car completely. But, yeah, I definitely need to hone I only ran 4 cars last year, so I didn't really get a whole lot of run time. And, I mean, if you can get rid of the butterflies, that's a big thing, where you can think actively and think smart.
Right.
You don't need to go across the track at 100 miles an hour to win a derby. Everybody knows that. But, when you're in the car and you get mad because somebody hit you, that's the wrong answer.
Right.
Because that's when you're going to junk yourself out on them. You're going to take that door shot on him that knows is your car, and he drives away laughing.
Right.
Yeah, it's all true.
So you can't win a race in the first lap, and you can't win a derby in the first hit. How about that?
I've tried.
Absolutely.
I've tried.
I mean, and yes, you're going to try out new parts and all that stuff, but I'm pretty stuck in my ways. I build my engines one way. I don't care if it's a customer or myself. They get 100% out of me. Your transmission. I mean, Corey Bunnell had the worst luck. He had a great working transmission, and all of a sudden it decided reverse was not going to work. Derby is a luck. It's a luck sport.
True.
You can do everything that you want, and at the end of the day, if one part fails you, you're done.
Mm-hmm. It's a fact.
And it doesn't matter.
You can try to mitigate the risk, I mean, by checking everything over, but, I mean, who knows when the ring gap is going to close up too much and you'll blow the top off a piston. Well,
and that's the thing.
Can't really decide that.
That's the thing is you never know when that part is going to break. I mean, you can build the best everything, you can buy the best everything, but sooner or later everything's going to break. But it's just
absolutely. I mean, this is a sport that puts everything to the test.
Sure does, including its drivers and its teams as well. You got a good group of people around you. Is there anybody that's going to help make sure that the effort happens this year? Any sponsors or partners?
Well, Jay Brodzinski, expect a phone call tonight because I still haven't ordered the parts that I need for the format. Obviously, JWC, everybody on the team. If I need something, I can go over to Zach's. He lives 10 minutes away from me. He's going to give me anything that I ever ask. Corey Bunnell, because he's the one here helping me build my stuff, and just anybody in the family of derbies, I mean, even if we get down there and I need a part and the next guy that absolutely does not want me to win, he's going to give me the part because, well, that's just what derby family is.
That's for sure. It's a fair assessment. Man, I wish you the best of luck. I look forward to seeing you here in a couple weeks when we get down there to Topeka. Travel safe. Hopefully the build goes smooth. And we wish all those guys at JWC the best of luck.
Awesome. I appreciate it, bud. Thanks for calling.
For sure. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye.
There goes Daryl Ewing. Appreciate him making some time for us. And again, both our guests, Steve Bucknam Jr. and Daryl Ewing, hanging in there with us as we battled
everything go right. Everything going now.
We won't have an MP3. I decided to take Daryl's word. I was mitigating the risk. I was going to make sure that we could get something out before it got to 8:30.
Yeah. Okay.
It seemed like it was tied to that, and I don't for sure know why, but there will be a note left for all the folks here at Finger Lakes 1, letting them know that we had some struggles and that perhaps we can work through that. But I guess that covers it for tonight, huh?
I think that's a good one.
Yep.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. TikTok. I hope all the builders are ready. Because it seems like it went from, wow, we're 50 days out to, wow, it's 12 days away.
Yeah.
Really fast.
Yeah, there's been some countdowns going quick on Facebook, so I'm sure everybody's going to be ready. And, it's just, I can't wait to get out there, man. Topeka's a special place. Looking forward to getting out there.
Definitely looking forward to it as well. Good news for Spinning Wheels. They picked up the Norwich Fair.
Yes, Shenango County, I believe.
Yep. So they picked that up. Saw a post from Road Rage congratulating them. Road Rage, their derby's coming up on the 1st of June. It's another one that's on the radar. It is going to get busier very fast.
Brett Grelier is putting on another Coos Derby in September. King's Old School. It will be at the Hemlock. Is it county or just fairgrounds? Hemlock Fairgrounds.
Yep.
He's getting some stuff.
I believe that's the world's biggest little fair.
Okay.
That was their handle back in 2013 when I filmed there.
Chris, is there anywhere you haven't been?
Yeah, there's lots of places.
Do you want to go there?
Where?
Where I haven't been.
Where I haven't been?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
all right. We're good.
If ever there was a loaded question, that's going to do it for us. Do it for us here. Episode 264 in the books. We appreciate everybody tuning in and bearing with us this evening, and we'll see you again back here next week. Thanks a lot. Go where I haven't been.
The Crash Course Live is presented by Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, host of May Mania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel, and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.